Already pushed on C1, typically we push on the upper vertebrae to assess a segment. So for AA, C1, C2 segment, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to push on C2. Okay? But here's the key. We're going to pre-position the patient. We're going to pre-position the patient into the nostril position. Okay? You know what the nostril position is? It's the position, so we have him with his head on his forearms here, but typically if you were to do this just flat on the table, you would just be seeing a nostril, right? So it's a one nostril view is what we're looking for, okay? So you're turning the patient about 30 degrees. See the nostril?
Yeah.
So we know we got it, right? So we got our nostril position here. Get a nice close-up of that. Here we go. Good. Okay. So we turn him 30 degrees to the side we're pushing on. Why do we do that? Well, because AA is all about rotation. So by going 30 degrees, what we've done is this. We've gone occiput, C1, stop. Now when I push on C2, I've locked in occiput and C1. So as I push on C2, I'm really looking at motion of C2 relative to C1. You guys follow that? There's an essay on the next exam on that. Just kidding. But as we rotate, we're locking out occiput, locking out C1. So when I push on C2, I'm pushing C2 on a stable C1. So it's looking at AA. It's looking at C1, C2. At least that's what they tell me. All right, so we're here. Now this is easy because we already know where C2 is because there's the first spinous process and we put a pen mark on it, right? So now I'm going to go off to the side again. And I'm on the transverse process of C2. I pre-position him by rotating him. I have my dummy thumb, my mobilizing thumb, and now my mobilizing thumb is worried about pushing toward his mouth. So I'm not up like this, but I'm looking at where Cody's mouth is, and that's where I'm pushing. So I'm kind of more like horizontal, you know? So I'm kind of pushing toward his mouth. So I make contact there, and then I'm taking this, and I'm pushing. So I'm a segment lower than I just was a minute ago. Remember, right? Fly's knees, bee's knees, right? Just real gentle, not a lot of motion. And I'm kind of in here like this, and I'm just applying that mobilizing force. So you should not see much happening. I mean, other than some small oscillations, there's really, there's not a lot of motion going on here. And I'm mobilizing that, and it feels to me like he needs this. So I'm going to keep doing it for a little while. I don't know why, it just feels gunky in there to me. Does that hurt?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Like it doesn't move very well. But that's my force direction. So my thumb is kind of going this way toward his mouth. Nothing fancy.